There's a silent revolution happening all around us. It's not the kind you see in the movies, with robots marching down the street. Nope. This one is happening quietly, inside massive data centers all over the world. So let's get right into it, because what we're talking about isn't some far-off future prediction. This is what's happening right now. 50%. According to the experts, that's the number of jobs that are going to be either partially or fully automated by the year 2030. Think about that. That's more than half of everyone working today, all in less than a decade. The scale of this is, well, it's hard to even wrap your head around. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into the specific AI tools that are already out there. And these aren't just tools to help us do our jobs. No, they are starting to fundamentally replace the need for a human to do the work at all in some of the biggest parts of our economy. Okay, so first up, let's talk about the digital world. The jobs most of us do at a desk with a computer. This is where that first big wave of change is really crashing down, automating everything from how we communicate to how we write code and even how we create art. Just think about all the large language models you've heard of, like ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. When you build these into automated systems, they're not just helpful tools anymore. They basically become digital employees. They can write, they can do research, they can translate, and they can handle customer support, answering emails, writing reports, and even having real conversations over the phone. And here's where it gets really crazy, the scale. A human customer service agent, right? They can handle one call at a time, and maybe they speak a couple of languages. An AI agent can handle millions of conversations at the exact same time, in every language you can think of, and it never, ever gets tired. And this gets to a really important point about what's coming. The jobs in these fields aren't all just going to vanish overnight. They're going to transform. Your role changes from being the person who does the work to being the person who manages the AI that's doing the work for you. Now let's jump to an area a lot of people thought was totally safe from automation, technical and creative skills. Tools like GitHub Copilot are already like a partner for software developers. But the next step is already here, AI agents that can take a simple instruction and just write entire programs by themselves. A lot of entry-level coding and testing jobs are being automated as we speak. And we've blown way past just getting simple suggestions or bits of code. We are now at the point where you can type a sentence into a box, and an AI can generate a whole app, a working website, or a movie scene that looks completely real. The human isn't the hands-on creator anymore. They're more like the director giving the commands. Think about what that means for a second. Instead of hiring a big team of designers or a bunch of junior developers, a company can now just generate what it needs whenever it needs it. The whole business model for how creative and development work gets done is being completely turned on its head. And this shift isn't stopping with just creative work. It's moving right into the heart of how businesses operate. All those administrative and analytical jobs that make an office run, they're also being automated. We're talking about AI systems that can read all your emails, give you a summary of a meeting you missed, screen resumes for HR, and in some cases, even make business decisions. And all of this leads to a pretty stark realization. The traditional white-collar office job is now the single most threatened type of job on the entire planet. The very idea of what office work even is basically dissolving into these automated dashboards and AI assistants. So, everything we've talked about so far has been in the digital world, right? Behind a screen. But what happens when you take these incredibly powerful AI brains and you connect them to actual physical machines and robots? Well, that's when you start to see the change in the real world. And we're already seeing this happen all across the global supply chain. Picture a modern warehouse, but instead of people, you just see swarms of robots coordinating perfectly to pick, pack, and ship everything with zero errors. Or imagine all those long-haul trucking routes being driven by autonomous trucks that go day and night. This isn't science fiction anymore. This is happening today, and it's completely re-engineering how things get from A to B. And the reason this is happening so fast is simple: money. The economic incentive is just massive. This quote says it all, right? You can have an entire industry that runs 24/7, no breaks, no salaries, no worrying about human safety. It's not just about saving a few bucks, it's about creating a perfect, predictable, and tireless workforce. For most businesses, it's no longer a question of if they'll automate, but how fast they can possibly do it. So you might be thinking, okay, but every time there's a big new technology, jobs get replaced, but new jobs get created. We've heard this before. So why is everyone saying this AI revolution is so different from, say, the Industrial Revolution? Well, it all comes down to this one question. Because what we're automating this time isn't just a physical task. For the first time ever, we are automating the act of thinking itself. And this slide right here is the absolute key to understanding everything. In the past, revolutions automated muscle, the steam engine, the factory line. They all replaced physical human labor. And that allowed people to move into jobs that required their minds. But this revolution automates the mind. So, with a change this massive, the way forward isn't about trying to compete against AI. You can't. It's all about adapting to a new world where AI is everywhere. The mandate for the future is pretty darn clear. The strategy for not just getting by, but actually thriving in this new world really breaks down into 3 simple steps. First, you have to learn how to use these AI tools to make yourself better, faster, and smarter. Second, you have to learn how to manage the AI systems and even entire teams of AI agents. And finally, the most valuable skill of all is going to be learning how to build new things, new companies, new processes, with AI at the very center of it all. So the final thought I want to leave you with is this. AI isn't coming anymore. It's already here. The winners in this new economy are going to be the ones who lean into this change, not the ones who try to fight it. Because the future, it really does belong to those who adapt.